33 of the mightiest men and machines of the racing world, the fastest field ever to compete at Indianapolis, move away behind the pace car. They must go once around in parade formation, the fury of their engines in check, until they make a full circuit. Moving smoothly, Jerry Hoyt at the pole position, inside front row. Bettenhausen next to him, and McGrath on the outside. In the second row, all eyes on Vukovich in the center. Hanks next to him on the outside. Through the second turn, heading for the long back stretch. Under the bridge and the pace of the backstretch. In the short straightaway between the third and the fourth turn. And here they come. The most beautiful sight in all racing. 12,000 horsepower wheeling through the fourth turn and heading into the main straightaway and the green flag. They're off. A beautiful start. McGrath cuts across from the outside and dives into the turn first. Bettenhausen roars after him. Hoyt drops to third. Agabasian is fourth. Vukovich is fifth. Safely through Tornado Turn and into the second. Listen to these engines sing. McGrath streaking away. Vukovich is now fourth, coming out of the backstretch. Vugie closes in on Hoyt at the end of lap 1. And he passes Hoyt to take third place. Into lap 2, McGrath tries to fatten his lead as Vukovich fights Bettenhausen for second place. The crowd comes to its feet watching Vukovich make his move. Up the backstretch, Vukovich passing, moving into second place. Bettenhausen now third. Vukovich racing to a showdown with McGrath. Bettenhausen loses ground as Vukie barrels away. The bell and howls following Vukovich. A thin wisp of smoke trails from McGrath's car as Vukovich keeps up the pressure. Through the first turn of lap 3, Vukovich fights McGrath for the groove. He's passing. And Vukovich is in first place. McGrath second, Bettenhausen third, Hanks fourth. Vukovich keeps right on charging. McGrath is in some kind of trouble. After 25 miles, Vukie opens up a 2-second lead. Jimmy Reese pulls into the pits. A broken connecting rod makes him the first out of the race. Vukovich begins to lap the tail of the field. McGrath's having magneto trouble. Man, what a battle! Vukie's crew flash him his lap speed. He's traveled 50 miles in 22 minutes, and McGrath hangs on. Jack closes in. And trouble or no trouble, he's passing. Vukovich cuts dangerously low to pull even, but Flying Jack won't give way. Vukie, lead-footing it all the way, turns the fastest race lap of Speedway history, 141.35 miles per hour, and takes the lead again. After 100 miles, Vukovich moves smoothly as ever, showing his tailpipe to the field. McGrath 10.5 seconds behind, his car fouled with exhaust fumes. Jerry Hoyt heads for the pit. Oil pump failure, and he's out of the race. His uniform is spattered with oil, but none left in the engine. Tough luck for this 26-year-old pole position winner. He tells his sad story to Jimmy Reese, the first man out of the race. There's nothing left of Jerry's victory hopes but an oily spot on the apron. McGrath's engine is still giving him trouble. Bob Sweikert's crew signaled the end of 125 miles, a quarter of the race. Sweikert in 4th position leads Bryan by a split second. McGrath comes into the pits after 135 miles. Vukovich has moved away to a 17-second lead before McGrath pitted. Sweikert and Bryan flash by as McGrath's crew change wheels. McGrath is leaving his car. Jack is his own chief mechanic, the only driver mechanic in the race, and he's calling for a wrench. They say in the pits, if you raise the hood, you might as well give it up. But sometimes you keep trying. With McGrath in the pits, Bryan charges into second place. McGrath is through. Magneto failure sends him to the garage. Lap 56. Vukovich is flying. He's lapped some cars 5 times and is running through the field with magnificent skill. Roger Ward spins on the backstretch. The way clear. From a point directly opposite, risks his life, crossing the track to go to Vukie's aid. Keller rushes to Boyd, trapped under his car, still in the path of the other drivers. Vukie's car, a blazing and battered wreck. Keller and Speedway guards roll Boyd's car upright. Miraculously, Boyd has only friction burns from skidding on his back with his car on top of him. A mile away in the pits, McGrath senses something. All cars are slowed down by the caution light. Tony Bettenhausen heads for the pits. Vukie's crew on the pit wall search anxiously for their man. Cal Naiday pits as Vukie's crew waits. Jim Bryan pits. He was running second behind Vukovich. Vukovich is now long overdue. Paul Russo takes over in Bettenhausen's car. These two men had a relief driver agreement to share the ride. White-faced Tony Bettenhausen passes the news of what he has seen on the backstretch. Then the announcement. Vukovich, 2-time winner of the 500, has suffered fatal injuries in the 4-car crash. Jimmy Bryan, now in first place, rolls onto the track under caution signal. The track is clear. After 16 caution laps, the green flag flies again. Bryan in the lead. Bob Sweikert only 5 seconds behind. Bryan suddenly begins to lose power, and the field moves in on him. Bryan is passed in the first turns by a straggler, and Bryan's chief mechanic, Clint Brawner, asks, "What's wrong?" Bryan is trailing smoke. Out of the north turn, Jimmy Davies in car number 15 bears down and passes. Sweikert right behind. Down the stretch. And now Sweikert takes the lead. On the next lap, Sweikert is alone. Where's Bryan? Jimmy slows down to pit. His exhaust ports covered with smoke. Looks like the national champion is through. Fuel pump trouble and a broken magneto drive gear. Brian is definitely out. And is he mad? Sweikert's crew watch as he pounds out the last laps. Cal Nide moving through the fourth turn. His front axle snaps. He slams into the wall, then rolls across the track to the infield. Nide is hurt, and his car, which was fifth at 425 miles, is washed out. On the green signal, they're moving again. But Don Freeland in number 12 heads for the pits. Freeland is Sweikert's last major threat, and he's out of the race, leaving only 14 of the 33 starters still racing. 50 miles to go, and Sweikert's crew isn't through worrying. With a lead of less than a minute and a half, they don't want another pit stop. But Sweikert is running low on fuel. Is he using his reserve tank yet? The Bardal crew check the time of their car, now running third. Sweikert's timer sweats it out. Bob has eased off the throttle to save fuel. Dinah Shore leads the trophy to victory lane, but Sweikert's worries aren't over. He's down to the last few gallons, and Jimmy Davies in the Bardal Special is ready to move if Sweikert fails. Where is he? Does he have fuel to make it? The crowd comes to its feet. Two more laps. Out of the fourth turn and one lap to go, there's the white flag. Tony Bettenhausen in second place gets the white flag. The last lap. The checkered flag for Bob Sweikert. The waiting, hoping, sweating is over for the mechanics. The fellow in the dark coat going wild is car owner John Zink. A big pat on the back goes to his chief mechanic. On to the winner's circle, the mechanical masterminds who prepared Sweikert's car, including his car owner, a man who paid $30,000 for a roadster just to have the privilege of changing a tire. Here he is, 500 miles in 3 hours, 53 minutes. Sweikert led for 85 laps, or a total of 212 and a half miles. And he wins $76,000 for his skill, a share of the record-breaking purse of $270,000. Sweikert gets a victory kiss from Dinah Shore and from his wife, Dolores, to end an unforgettable 500.